Hi guys, this is topic 4 and a little bit of the remaining topic 3 for your test review. So we're going to start with this word problem about the area of a piece of cardboard. So this sometimes scares people a little bit because we're dealing with a word problem all of a sudden, but you just have to remember that this question is asking about area, and you know that area is equal to length times width, and in the problem they are giving you the length and giving you the width. So really they're just asking you to multiply two rational expressions, which is the same as what we've been working on. So that means that area is equal to x squared plus 4x over x squared plus 5x plus 4 times 2x minus 2 over 2x plus 8. Okay, so we're going to do this the way that we multiply all rational expressions, which is to start by factoring. The first numerator has a GCF of x, and the denominator is a quadratic polynomial, which means we want to see what multiplies to 4 and adds to 5. So that's going to be positive 4 to give me x plus 4 is one factor, and positive 1, x plus 1 is the other factor. Okay? These next two expressions that I see both have GCFs. So the first one, the numerator has a GCF of 2, leaving me with x minus 1. And the second one, also a GCF of 2, leaving me with x plus 4. Okay, so I'm just going to write the restrictions on top. Before we cancel anything, I can tell from my denominators that x can't equal negative 4, and it can't equal negative 1 for these two factors, and then negative 4 repeats again. Okay, so remember when you multiply two rational expressions together, you can cancel any pair in the numerator and denominator. So I see a pair right here, the x plus 4s. I can cancel those out. You notice there's an additional x plus 4 right here, but that's not part of a pair, so we're not going to cancel. I do see another pair right here, the 2's, those cancel, and that means that I'm left with x times x minus 1 over x plus 1 and x plus 4. With restrictions, x can't equal negative 4 and negative 1. Okay, our next problem is a work problem, which is really just a word problem involving rational equations. So we're talking about how long it takes two people separately to clean one of the whiteboards in my room. So Ariana has a certain rate that she works by, and Romy has another rate that she's working by, and we want to know if they work together, what's their rate combined. Okay, so if we look at Ariana, who's the first one, it says in the problem, if she works alone, it takes her 12 minutes to clean one whiteboard. It would take her 12 minutes. For Romy to clean one whiteboard, it doesn't seem to tell us how much time she takes, so we're going to say that that's T. But together, one whiteboard takes them 4 minutes. Okay, so this is the equation we're working with. We want to multiply both sides of the equation by the least common denominator, which is going to be 12t. So I get 12t times a 12th. I distribute this, plus 12t times 1 over t is equal to 12t, got a t there, times 1 over 4. Okay, so 12's cancel, t's cancel, 4 goes into 12 3 times, and I am left with t plus 12 is equal to 3t, which means that 12 is equal to 2t, which means t, which was Romy's individual time, is equal to 6. So it takes Romy 6 minutes to clean the board by herself. Okay, last question here is a complex fraction. So a complex fraction, the way I want to deal with this is I want to look at all 4 terms that I see in the fraction. I see a half. I see, that's the first one. Then I see an x over 1. I see another x over 1. And then lastly, I see a 3 over x. Okay, so by looking at the denominators, I see a 2, a 1 that repeats, an x. That's going to make my least common denominator 2 times 1, or 2x. So how I'm going to use that is I'm going to multiply both numerator and denominator by 2x. So that essentially I'm multiplying by 1, and I am not, in fact, changing the problem at all. So it's 2x times the first fraction minus 2x times the second term, which is x, over 2x times x minus 2x times the last term, which is 3 over x. And then we use what we know about rational functions here. So I know that the 2's will cancel here, the x's will cancel here, and that will mean that I'm left with x times 1 minus 2x times x over 2x times x minus 6. Okay, this is a plus 6. Okay, so we want to keep in mind that we don't just cancel things that are the same. So there's a lot of temptation to cancel the 2x times x right here and right here, just because they're the same. But remember that we only cancel over multiplication and division. So we are not permitted to cancel those even though they are the same. You're just going to distribute, and you get x minus 2x squared over 2x squared plus 6. Your new denominator doesn't give you any additional restrictions, but originally from the very first problem, I know that x couldn't be equal to 0. So that is your final answer.